What is summer like in San Francisco? I'm the wrong person to ask because I'm a boring bachelor who stays home on Friday nights. I'm also the right person to ask because I've lived in San Francisco for almost 8 years and had to have at some point stepped outside. Most people are aware of the famous Mark Twain saying about San Francisco summers. There's some truth to it, but obviously a Raymond video wouldn't exist if there's not some nuance to be told. As of uploading this video, the last day I left San Francisco for any reason was on Saturday, June 17th, 2023, a full 4 days before the first day of summer 2023. There is no simple way to describe San Francisco summer weather other than it does not feel like the inferno that characterizes the typical inland California summer day that comes with no relief at night. When I go on my regular photo walks, one of the few activities that get me out of my apartment, I often need a jacket because there are some summer days in this city that don't even reach 60 degrees Fahrenheit. But this city also mixes in a few comfortable t-shirt days where the weather isn't what most people would call hot, but a jacket isn't necessary. However, even on the rare warm San Francisco day, the marine layer that's most prevalent in the summer swoops in as evening approaches to punish anyone who's unaware that this is a city where you need to carry a jacket if there's any chance you'll be outside during or past evening hours. A jacket was certainly necessary during this nighttime photo walk around the beginning of summer. June is Pride Month in San Francisco. Pride displays throughout the city are one of the first signs of summer. Unfortunately for my camera, these images would be the last I would take on this camera and lens combo that have served me for each of the previous 2 summers. Because when I got home from that nighttime photo walk, I dropped my camera from my counter, breaking the lens and forcing me to use my backup camera this entire summer. But you probably wouldn't have noticed if I didn't tell you. One place I often find myself this summer is at Pier 39. Throughout the year it's already packed with people on weekends, but I imagine it's just a little more packed during summer weekends. Even on the warmest San Francisco days, the perimeter of the pier is always windy and cool no matter how warm the temperature is inland. I assume what draws me to the Fisherman's Wharf area ironically is that I'm an extreme loner by nature. Even though I don't regularly interact directly with people when I go out, putting myself in the middle of these crowds does fulfill a tiny urge within my social being to feel connected to the rest of the world. Of course, after immersing myself into San Francisco summer crowds, I do need to escape into more peaceful pockets of town. It's funny how there is no narrative characterizing the city using these spaces, but you better believe the next downtown store closure will be covered as if the city has turned into Burton's Gotham. An underrated characteristic of San Francisco summers is that the weather is always conducive to outdoor running. As much as I take advantage of this, I don't know of another person who puts as much effort into getting and staying in near beach body shape without ever actually going to the beach as I do. Because the trade-off of living in a city that's constantly cool is living in a city where the beach climate doesn't exactly make anyone enthusiastic about stripping down. This rare 80-degree day back in 2016 is the only time in my nearly 8 years of living here that I went to the beach for the sake of doing beach things. Conversely, previous cities I lived in had more traditional beach weather, but without the beaches. Back when I lived in Sacramento, going to see a summer blockbuster had as much to do with making an excuse to get out of the unbearable 110-degree heat as it did watching the movie. But when I went to a San Francisco movie theater on Friday, July 21st, 2023, the high was a very nice 70 degrees outside, so the theater being packed that day had nothing to do with the weather.
Yes, Barbie changed everything.
Speaking of crowds, San Francisco seems to have a lot of pop-up events in public spaces, like this late July showing of World Cup Soccer at Embarcadero Plaza. But baseball will always be the heartbeat of summer sports here. Though I've been a Giants fan throughout my life, I don't think I will ever get used to the Arctic air that pours into the stadium when the evening fog rolls in as the sun goes down. I can't remember the last time I wasn't uncomfortably cold during the late innings of a Giants game, and I'm someone who prefers weather to be on the cooler side. I should caveat this video by pointing out that this is an example of a typical Raymond summer in San Francisco. If you're a boring loner bachelor, then this kind of summer will probably resonate with you. If you're an outgoing social butterfly, then this city is your playground and you probably had too much fun at Outside Lands to care to watch something like this. I guess this video is just my long-winded way of saying that San Francisco in the summer isn't all that different from San Francisco during other seasons. And I'll break the fourth wall by admitting that the reason for this video's existence is to justify sharing the many video clips and images I've captured this summer so they don't waste away in the dungeons of my hard drives.